What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today is new tank day, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back to the channel. As always, check out our sponsors in the link in the description. Make sure to check out Jimmy Goldfish USA and Star Fisheries. Today, as you've guessed from the title and thumbnail, we are getting our brand new tank, and I cannot tell you how excited and nervous I am at the same time. So I am absolutely delighted to have a new tank. As you know, we had the big monster tank literally where I'm sitting now, and that has now gone to a new home about 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago thereabouts. We still have the top view ranchu outside in the finally finished garden and finished pond. And today, right behind you, we are going to be getting our brand new monster fish tank. Now, I have released a few snippets in the previous videos of potentially what I could be stocking this tank with. So if you guys have guessed what I'm going to be doing with this tank, then congrats to you. And I'm actually going to be doing a saltwater marine tank. So I've kept marines twice in the past, and it's been, I'd say, 2, maybe 3 years since I've kept a saltwater tank, but I'm coming back again. I'm sure we always come back to that same setup or same fish. Just like with the goldfish, I always keep coming back because they are ultimately my favourite fish to keep, and we are going to be doing an absolutely mega saltwater tank. Now this tank is not going to be like any tank you've seen before. It is going to be completely different. I am doing a DIY filtration system, and I'm basically experimenting with this tank. Now it may not work, the design and the filtration may not work how I want it to, but I think it's best to try these things. I've literally scoured the internet and I haven't found no one that has done this type of filtration in this type of system. So who knows if it's going to work or not. I'll whiz the camera around and show you where the tank's going and talk about it a little bit more before we bring it in from outside. As you'll see behind me, you've probably seen this sofa before, this sofa bed, and the Ryukin tank used to be right here next to me, but the Ryukin tank, as we know, has gone, and the sofa bed is still here. You will also see a few supplies, and they are for the new tank. And then we've just got the big ficus that is there temporarily. I may move it, I'm not too sure yet. But the new tank is actually going to go in this area right here. And it's actually going to sit just under the windowsill. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, hang on, that's going to look really silly with a big stand covering your windows. That's not going to look very nice. And you would be correct, but I am not putting this tank on a stand. So you may be thinking, but how are you going to have a sump? If it's a marine tank, it needs a sump. And the answer to that question is no, it is not going to have a sump. And you may be thinking, well, it's going to need some huge canister filters. Where are you going to put those without it looking absolutely horrible? And to answer you with that, it is not having a canister filter or canister filters on the tank. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what the filtration is going to be just yet. I might reveal that at the end of the video, or possibly in the next video when we set up the tank. But now we need to bring it in from outside. It hasn't arrived yet. Luckily, I have got, I think, 6 or 7 helpers to bring this tank in, because this tank is 8 feet long, 3 foot front to back, and 2.5 foot tall, and it holds 1,500 litres of water. So we're going to have 1,500 litres of water down here, and I am very nervous because this tank weighs 280 kilos, just the glass itself. So I'm really nervous. I'm really hoping we aren't going to drop it or smash it or chip it, etc. But I've talked enough now. We're going to get to it. Hopefully I'm going to set up a time lapse if everyone that is helping me doesn't mind being on the video, and then we're going to bring it in, and then I can talk a little bit more about it. So I will catch you in a bit. Here we go. As you can see, there is absolutely loads of us, and it really puts into scale the size of this tank. We managed to use some trolleys and a ramp to get it up the curb into the garden, and then all of us managed to pull it along the floor on lots of towels, and then finally we could rotate the tank back on the base so we could get it into its final position onto the polystyrene. And I'm so thankful we had all of these bodies to help me move the tank. So as you can see, we have finally got the tank in place. Hopefully that time lapse was quite easy for you guys to see, but there were so many people around. I think we had about 10 people in the end trying to get this into the lounge. So we had to take the back gate off, and it only just fit through the gate. It was so tight, and a big thank you to Dom at ND Aquatics. For those of you who watch Mixed Fish UK, you will know that he gets all of his tanks from ND Aquatics, and I had to try it out myself. So we have this absolute beast of a tank, and big thank you to Dom who helped deliver it. I know it was a real struggle, but we finally got it in place. It is so heavy. So the tank weighs 280 kilos. And then we've got a black background, we've got a double base. It is 2.4 meters long, it is 0.9 meters front to back, and then it is 0.76 meters tall, and it holds around 1,500 liters. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, you may be thinking, what am I going to be doing for filtration on this tank? Because there is nowhere for any canister filters, there is nowhere underneath for a sump. And this is going to be a sort of DIY trial and error system, and I'm really hoping it's going to work, because I'm actually using a filtration technique that I haven't seen anyone do on an aquarium. They use them on ponds and they work really well, but I don't know if it's going to work on the fish tank, but we're going to see. So what I've got to do now is I'm going to build an internal box filter into that corner, and we're going to silicone that all in, and then we will be able to start constructing the filtration. I've also got a special type of return. It's not going to be a pump returning the water, it's going to be something else. If you've got any clues or any ideas, leave a comment down below. But I'm going to get on with the construction of the filter, and then hopefully in the next video we're going to be starting to scape the tank, getting everything ready for fish. And as you know, if you already guessed from the previous videos, we are going to be doing a marine saltwater tank. So this is an absolutely huge tank, especially for saltwater fish. If you've got any ideas or you've got any suggestions of what fish we could put in it, leave a comment down below. But without further ado, I really want to get cracking on the filter so we can start scaping the tank in the next video. So I will catch you in a bit. As you can see, I am sitting inside the tank because it is so large, siliconing in the new filter. So I'm just applying a bead of black silicone, which is silver label. You can even apply this silicone underwater, so it will definitely be cured in the 5 to 6 days before we fill the tank up. I'm applying a bead of silicone on the inside and outside before we held the acrylic in position with some spare pieces that I had. And here is the finished box. I added a couple of weir pieces onto the top and then attached those together. You'll also see there is a blue piece of foam which eventually will be covered in filter fleece, and then you may be wondering what that black pipe at the back is, and that will all be revealed in the next episode, where I talk a little bit more about the system setup, and the episode after that where I speak more about the equipment and filtration. That blue piece of foam sits on a few triangles, which has a piece of egg crate on top of it, silicone to it, so the water flows over this into the filter, and then there is a large void underneath which will house the refugium, but I will talk about that, as I said, in the next episode and the one after that. But finally, we have 5 kilos of biohome at the bottom to add a bit of extra biomedia to the filter. So as you could see, the new tank has arrived. I am absolutely ecstatic with it. I'm so happy with it. That is it for this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I cannot wait to show you the next episode where we start to actually scape the tank and get all the rock, the sand in, and maybe then, or maybe the video after, I will explain a little bit more about this new concept for my aquarium filter, and hopefully we will find out if it even works, and if it doesn't, at least I've showed you guys so you know not to make that same mistake at home. But I will tell you that, and yeah, as I said, maybe the next episode or the episode after, but I cannot wait to get some water in this tank and get it all set up. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.